The Forgotten Fire, Martin Luther King's final stand for economic justice. This is the protest nobody wants you to know about, the one erased from textbooks, buried in the archives, because it dared to unite black, white, brown, and red against the real enemy, a government that hoards power and wealth while dividing its people. In the shadow of a nation built on dreams, where the promise of liberty rang hollow for millions, one man dared to challenge the invisible chains that bound not just bodies, but souls. This is the story of the Poor People's Campaign, the final crusade of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Not a battle against the color of skin, but a war on the color of money. A revolution against the iron grip of government control that kept the poor in perpetual poverty, while the powerful hoarded the wealth of a land meant for all. By 1967, Dr. King had seen enough. The Civil Rights Act had passed, voting rights were won, but the dream was crumbling under the weight of empty pockets. "What good is the right to sit at a lunch counter," he thundered, "if you can't afford the hamburger?" This wasn't about black or white anymore. It was about green. The green of dollars, controlled by a government that funneled billions into wars abroad while starving its own people at home. King envisioned a multiracial army of the dispossessed. Black sharecroppers from the South, white coal miners from the hills, Latino farm workers from the valleys, Native Americans reclaiming stolen dignity. Together, they would march on Washington, not for handouts, but for reform, for jobs guaranteed by the government, for a living wage that broke the cycle of despair, for housing that wasn't a slumlord's profit scheme, for an end to the economic violence that killed more silently than any bullet. The Poor People's Campaign was King's boldest stroke, a demand for an economic bill of rights. No more crumbs from the table. They wanted the whole bakery. Imagine it, 3,000 souls descending on the Capitol in mule-drawn wagons, symbolizing the slow grind of poverty. They would erect Resurrection City, a tent metropolis on the National Mall, right under the noses of Congress and the President. This was about control. Who holds the purse strings of power? The government, King argued, had rigged the system. Tax dollars siphoned to bombs in Vietnam, while schools crumbled and bellies growled. It was a call to dismantle the machinery of inequality, to redistribute wealth not through charity, but through justice. "We are coming to ask America to be true to what you said on paper," King declared. Not about race, but about class, about the boot of economic oppression on every poor neck, regardless of hue. But fate struck first. On April 4, 1968, in Memphis, where King had gone to support striking sanitation workers, assassin's bullet silenced his voice. Yet the fire he lit burned on. Led by his comrades, the poor marched anyway. Resurrection City rose like a defiant phoenix, home to protests that shook the halls of power. They demanded an end to government complicity in poverty. No more welfare traps that humiliated the needy. No more corporate bailouts while families starved. The establishment trembled. FBI surveillance, riot police, tear gas. They called it chaos, but it was clarity. A revelation that true control lay not in votes alone, but in the vaults of economic power. The campaign exposed the lie that poverty was a personal failure, not a policy choice engineered from above. The Poor People's Campaign was King's last testament, a blueprint for real change, buried in history but alive in our struggles today. In a world still divided by dollars, not just divisions, remember, It's not the color of your skin that changes you, but the system that controls the coin. Rise up. Demand reform. For in the words of the man who dreamed it, the time has come for an all-out world war against poverty. The battle isn't over. It's just beginning.